everyone, it's Russell Brunson. Welcome to week number 3. Congratulations if you made it this far. And at this point, hopefully you have geeked out, you figured out your offer, you've been creating the products that are going to be plugged into the funnel that we're creating this week. You've been testing your stories you were publishing on some platform. If not, please stop this and go back to the very beginning, because this is a new mission and you need to focus on building out the funnel. So your mission, should you choose to accept it this week, is we're going to start focusing on building out a funnel. And today, I'm going to be talking about the core strategy behind every funnel. For some reason, people always overcomplicate funnels, and I really want to break it down to two principles that are almost so simple, you're like, this is too simple, there's got to be a more complicated thing. So these are your goals of any funnel. So all right, your goals. The first goal of a funnel is to generate a lead, and the second goal is to create a customer. That's it. There is funnel psychology, funnelology 101, right? It's that simple. It's the goal of a funnel is to generate a lead and then create a customer. Okay. And so again, if we go back to our example of like moving things offline, right? Like if you look at offline advertising, like you put ads in Yellow Pages, or I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, but radio ads, whatever. Like you're trying to generate a lead, like get somebody to like call you or come into your store or something. You're generating a lead, and after you have that lead, then the second goal is to sell them something. Like that's it. Okay, so the funnel we're going to be focusing on for this whole one funnel way challenge is very simple. It's not complicated. It's going to be doing two simple things. But if you look at any funnel, it's the exact same process. Okay, all right. The first goal. This comes back to what we talked about in the first week. We talked about in the offer sequencing section. Last week we talked about with stories. The very first page is going to be your squeeze page. Second page is your sales page. And then third is going to be your OTO, or your upsell page. Okay? And so the squeeze page, the goal of the squeeze page is to generate a lead. Okay, I get a lead. Now, I'll explain it for this funnel here, but I'll show you in a minute how it's true for any funnel, right? So you're over here, and like, let's say there's Facebook, or if we go red, you got YouTube, but it could be Instagram, it could be Pinterest, I don't care where it is. But there's traffic, there's people out in these places, right? So there's all these people that are in these platforms. They're hanging out, they're talking about cats, they're sharing videos of their dogs and their cousins and their bloopers, and they're already there, right? We want to create traffic. Traffic's already there, okay? So our job is then, again, to throw out a hook to grab somebody and bring them over to our landing page. And the goal of our landing page then is to get their contact information, email or messenger or whatever, somehow to get them to give us their information, and so they become a lead. Okay, so I make this green. So I put out an ad to try to grab this person, suck them over here, and then they put in their information, and boom, they become a lead. They come down here, and now they have joined my email list, right? So that's the first goal of any funnel, is to generate a lead. Okay, and why do we want leads? Leads are like building leads or building a list. That's like the lifeblood of your entire business, right? I'm going to call it a list right here, but it's the same thing. You're generating leads, you're building a list. I've talked about this in other trainings, but just for you guys to understand, this is internet marketing. The most valuable, important thing you have in your entire world is your list. Okay, like that's it. If you look at companies that got bought, like we look at when Facebook tried to buy Instagram or Snapchat, why were they trying to buy it? It wasn't because the technology was hard. Facebook could have knocked off the technology in 5 minutes. It's because Snapchat had this huge customer base they wanted. Okay, why did they buy Instagram? Because Instagram had a huge customer base. Why did eBay buy Skype? Why did all these companies do things? It's not because of the technology. It's not because of the product. It's because of the customer list. Like that's the most valuable asset. Okay, so as you guys are doing this, you start going through this process. I'm pretty sure I talked about this earlier week, so I want to kind of refresh it. You're buying ads, you're getting people to join your list, right? You're getting the email information or getting them on ManyChat or whatever you want to call it. You're getting them onto a list, and the list is the secret sauce. Okay, when I was first getting into this business, my first mentor, Mark Joyner, drilled this to my head, focus on a list, focus on a list, focus on a list. And I remember, I can't remember if it was him or somebody else that told me that if you look at the numbers, the way things break down, and this is if you do it incorrectly, if you do it poorly, you should average on average $1 per name for each person on your email list per month. Okay, $1 per month per name. Okay, so that means if you have 100 people on your email list, you should average $100 per month. If you have 1,000 people on your email list, $1,000 a month, and so on. And so I started taking that as this is the truth. So it's okay. If I want to, and I didn't have a job at the time I was wrestling, but I was like, hey, if I want to make 6 figures a year, how many people do I need on my list? I need whatever, 1,000 people on my list, make $1,000 a month times 12, that's $12,000 a year. So if I had 10,000 people on my list, that's $10,000 a month, 120. So I need 10,000 people on my list. So that became my focal point. If I can get a list of 10,000 people, that's $120,000 a year, and I'm free. So that was my focus that I was focusing on. So I was driving all my traffic to get them to become a lead, to start building my list, right? And as it started growing, I drive someone from Facebook, from YouTube, from these different places. They give me an email address, and boom, they pop out here, and I get a second person and a third person. And sure enough, just like they told me, as my list started growing, so did my income. And I remember the first big campaign I did, I got like 217 people on my list, and I was averaging about that time about $200 a month. And I started growing to 1,000 people on my list, and when I was following this process, I was making about $1,000 a month. I got 10,000 people, I was making 10 grand a month. I got 100,000 people, 100,000 a month. 1 million people, $1 million a month, and so on and so forth, okay? So for you, like, understand, like, that's how the metrics work. So I'm gonna have a huge focus on, like, using funnels to generate leads, to build a list, because that's the big secret sauce, okay? Now, if you do this right and you treat your list really, really good, you're not going to make $1 per month. You're going to make more. I know people make $2 or $3 or $5 or $6 or $10 or more. But like the lowest, if you do it incorrectly, you should be able to average $1 per name per month who's on your email list, okay? So that becomes the focal point. I want you guys always thinking about that, like in the back of your head, like if I want to make this my full-time gig, how many people do I need on my list, okay? And hyper focus on that, okay? So I'm driving people in, they're coming here, and they're joining my list, right? And so we're doing that all day long, okay? That's why when we come back to the offer sequencing, that's why when we come in here, we're picking out what's going to be the offer on the landing page. It's why, like, I don't want to be like, I'm going to give you guys a free report on blah, like something boring here. Like, make this amazing, because the better relationship, like the better thing you pick from right here to give away on your squeeze page, the more likely these people are going to like you. It's like, man, Russell gave me this thing, like I can't believe he gave me this. It didn't cost me anything. Like he really cares about it, and then builds a relationship, which makes the value of each person go up because they trust you and they like you. Okay. But I have people all the time like, well, I can't give it away. Like, I spent all this money on this. I spent all this time creating it. Like, no, give away something insanely good, because that's going to get people to give you the email address, okay? And it builds a relationship right out of the gate, okay? So step number 1 in a funnel is to generate a lead. Now, step number 2 is all these people are coming in. The second thing now is to create a customer. Okay, customer is where somebody changes the playing field and say, look, I trust Russell enough, I'm going to give him money in exchange for whatever he's selling me, okay? And so that happens here on step number 2 in the funnel. So we're generating a customer, okay? And then we're gonna actually sell them something. And right here will be, turn that into a button, where we sell them something, right? And then the next page is then we have an upsell where it's like, we tell them another story and make them another offer. And then that'll become the upsell, okay? All right, and so this is basically the funnel structure we're going to be focusing on. We're creating a lead, and then we're creating a customer. Creating a lead, creating a customer, and then upselling that customer. Like that's what we're creating, okay? Now, what's cool about this, somebody comes your lead, and what's going to happen after they join your list, there's going to be different emails that come out, right? This is kind of going a little deeper into funnel psychology, but like if you get this, I think some of you guys are going to have the big aha and be like, oh my gosh, like I see the vision of what we're trying to do. I understand what we're trying to create, okay? So you come in here and let's say someone joins your list and immediately see this page. Some percentage are gonna buy, but a lot of people aren't gonna buy, right? But now they're on my list and I can email them and say, hey, did you see this product? And I'm gonna tell them a hook, okay? I told them, they already saw the story for the product, for some reason they didn't buy. So I'm like, okay, what's a hook I can tell them? So I send an email to them. In this email, there's a different hook, a different reason that might get them excited. I write them an email, tell them about that, and I push them back into this page and I get them to try to buy. And that hook's gonna grab some people and get them to buy. And then the second day, I can send another email out with a different hook. And the third day, another email. I can send as many emails as I want to this list, trying to get them to buy this product. Okay, the fortune is in the follow-up. Hopefully you guys have heard that before. It takes the average person, on average, 7 times seeing your offer before they're willing to purchase something from you, so they're comfortable enough. Now, that's not always the case. Some people buy the first time, but on average, people have to see your stuff multiple times before they're willing to buy. Okay, so we have these email sequences that go back. I'm trying out different hooks. This is why we're practicing stuff yesterday. Remember I was talking about Mr. Miyagi, like wax the car, paint the fence. The reason I'm having you guys tell stories and hooks is because we have to get good at like, they didn't buy directly from the story. What's a hook that gets them re-engaged in the story? What's a new hook that gets them re-engaged in the story? And we do different things, right? And then eventually, this is the first funnel. This is where we're focusing on the one funnel way challenge. But long term, let me move some of these so you can kind of see the entire vision of where we're going with this, right? Long term is most people don't have just one funnel. This is the first funnel that happens immediately. But then you have this relationship with somebody, and then over here you say, hey, and you build this, funnel number 2, which is whatever. It could be a webinar funnel. It could be, a high ticket funnel. It could be whatever your thing is. It could be selling events, it could be selling physical products, it could be selling whatever, right? In fact, we got tons of people right now who are doing, in the e-commerce space, we're selling free samples right here of something just to create a customer, and then they build a relationship here, and then the emails in the future are selling them like expensive versions of their products or big bundle offers or things like that, right? So then I come over here, and funnel 2 is going to tell some different story, and that we're not going to focus on that right now, but I can send out different emails here trying to get them to buy the next thing, okay? And so this is what's going to be happening after the one funnel away challenge. My first goal, this whole challenge, the goal is to get you guys to master this funnel, right? If we can get this one funnel awesome, you're one funnel away from like, now I have something that's generating leads and creating customers. Like that's the first step in this business. Because when you have a list, you're in business, right? The list will save you, like I can't tell you how many times like where things have happened and the market shifts and like things have almost collapsed because I have a list of people. I can send an email to that list, sell them next thing, and like income, cash starts flowing back in instantly. It's like the greatest safety net in the history of the world, okay? And so that's what to understand, okay? These customers will move on this journey, and if you keep treating them right, they're gonna keep following here, and they're gonna buy more and more stuff from you in the future, okay? All right, now what I wanna illustrate here, just to kind of give you guys perspective, what is gonna happen is over here on Facebook or on YouTube, I'm gonna be, and again, we're gonna get to traffic next week. There's different ways. There's free ways you can get traffic and there's paid ways. But I'm gonna focus right now on the paid ways, right? So let's say I come over here and I spend money to buy ads from either Facebook or to YouTube to send people into my funnel, okay? And let's just say I spend, let's keep the numbers easy. Let's say I spend $10 in ads and I come over here and I get 10 people, and from that, one person buys or something. And let's say after like the first email in the sequence we get, like let's say one person buys, and the first email, the second person buys, and the third email, like 3 more people buy, and it keeps going through. And what's gonna happen is, a lot of times, I spend the first $10, I might not make my first $10 back immediately, right? On day number 1, but maybe I make back like 3 of the $10. And it's like, oh, I'm kind of nervous, but then I send an email, and all of a sudden, like, now I made back 4 of the $10, and by email 4 or 5, I get to 5 out of 10, and 8 out of 10, and somewhere in this sequence is this magic number we call break even, right? And for some of you guys, break even will happen immediately. Like that's the goal. I want to build a funnel that breaks even immediately, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it takes till email number 1, 2, and by email number 3, like this is my break even point. So I know I can spend money on ads, and know by day 3 I break even. Sometimes, depending on how risky you are or your business, sometimes you don't break even until day 10 or day 30 or I have some clients that break in even 6 months later, but they know their metrics, so they're able to do that, okay? But we understand this is the game we're playing. We're building a funnel to generate leads, to then sell a product, and then build a relationship with the list, and then eventually we're gonna sell them another product, and we're gonna take them down this journey and keep serving them as high as we can, at a high level as we can. If you understand this is the vision of where things go long term, then it helps you to start focusing on this, like I need to create this right now, because if I can get a funnel where I spend money and I break even immediately, or I break even within 3 or 4 days during this funnel, now I'm getting all these customers for free. That's the magic. Like that's, when you build a funnel where you're getting customers for free, I always tell people, if you can get a funnel that breaks even, that's $1 million a year business. And so that's the goal initially. So that's the funnel we're building during this entire one funnel away challenge, right? And what's cool is like funnel number 2, all you're gonna do is you're gonna come back to this board over here and you're like, hey, what's the next thing I can create for someone? I can create somebody. Well, let's make an offer. We give them these things I didn't use yet. Let's make those, and we're gonna sell that in funnel number 2. And you can follow the same process to build out your second funnel and your third funnel, okay? But if you look at every funnel is based on that. Step number 1 is to generate a lead. Step number 2 is to turn that lead into a customer by selling them something. Okay? Now they're all different. This one that we're gonna be working on in this challenge is a very simple one. But let's say you're doing a webinar funnel. Webinar funnel is the same thing, right? Someone registers for the webinar. What do they become? A lead. Now on the webinar, I do a presentation where I tell my story and I make them an offer, and then if they buy, they become a customer, lead customer. High-tech application funnel, for those who geek out on all these things, right? They fill an application, they become a lead. I call them on the phone, I sell them, now they become a customer. Like that's all that funnels are. Generating lead, creating customer. Generating lead, creating customer. Okay? And so this is the blueprint of what we're doing. Okay? So what we're gonna be doing this week is focusing on building out this first funnel. This is hopefully your break-even funnel. Some of you guys will be profitable on, but this is the goal, is to get this funnel that's gonna be building you guys a list. Because if I can give you anything from this challenge, I want you to understand that this is your financial freedom, is building the customer list. Okay? I started building my customer list 15 years ago. We have over 1 million people now on my list. It took me a long time to get there. But what's nice is that that list has been there during the ups and during the downs, right? Like I almost went bankrupt twice in my journey. If you watch during the pre-train, if you watch the one funnel away, I told some of those stories. Like if it wasn't for my email list, I would have been bankrupt for sure. Every time I should have, like by all logic and all common sense, I should have gone bankrupt. I was like, I need something. Okay, coming back to this dashboard of all the products, like what can I create to serve my customers? I create a new offer, send an email to the list, boom, saved me so many times. So this is the goal. Generate a lead, sell them a product, okay? So again, what we're focusing on during this week is squeeze page, sales page, OTO, okay? So your homework for today is, if you haven't done this yet, is to go back to what we talked about on week number 1. We talked about the offer sequencing, and just finalize this, because we're gonna start building this out inside of ClickFunnels. Tomorrow we're gonna actually start going into ClickFunnels. I'm gonna show how to start the technical part of building out a funnel. It's not difficult. We can go page by page by page. We're gonna plug in your hooks, plug in your stories, plug in your hooks, stories, all the actual, this will be like, I'll put equal, this is the membership site that has all the content from all these things here. We're gonna be plugging in those things this week, and by the time this week is done, this whole piece will be finished. And then next week, we're gonna come over here to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all these things, and start grabbing people and start bringing them into your funnel. It's gonna be so much fun. So I'm excited. So right now, again, your assignment for today is just to go back and make sure you have all the stuff figured out. What's your offer gonna be on your squeeze page? What's your offer gonna be on your sales page? What's your offer gonna be on your upsell page? Have the stuff figured out. And then tomorrow, we're gonna start going into ClickFunnels and start building all the pieces out. Sound good? All right, thanks so much, you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.